That was a good. That'll create a good spike.
That will create a good spike. Yes. Okay. Well, how you doing?
I'm not doing too bad, Ashin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. As I said before, my legs felt tingly today.
Yeah, Ashin's had tingly legs all day.
No idea why.
I don't know what that is.
Any doctors? No.
Any doctors?
Any doctors in
For
the
all
audience?
you doctors.
I really
out there.
highly doubt the doctors listen to this, but if any doctors do, tell me why I've got tingly legs.
Aye, since he woke up.
Since I just woke up with tingly legs.
And he keeps almost falling over. But not actually falling over. Those are his symptoms.
No, I
Tingly
just
legs
about
and
save
almost
it
fall
every
over.
time.
Nah, you sort of get saved by an object, it seems. You just stumble onto the sofa. Ooh.
Or I grab your hood or something.
I grab onto me. Ooh.
Pull myself back up. That's what you're my rock, dog.
Bring yourself back down to earth.
You're my rock.
I'm your rock.
You're my stable.
Am I the ball to your chain?
You're the only stable man in my life.
I'm your ball and chain.
That's yeah, man. You're my ball and chain. You're the person that when I get a call from you, I think, oh fuck.
There, that ball and chain
That ball
call.
and chain.
Hey. Right, what's she want?
plays that the Darth Vader walking. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, from
You
Lord of
wouldn't
the
know,
Rings.
though. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't
From
know
Lord of
since
the
you haven't
Rings.
seen Lord of the Rings, aye.
I've seen it film, seen it. Aye. My favourite
Can't
character
bring
on it's Red Dwarf.
Hey Emily, how annoying is it that you can't say any references or bring up any references about anything? Adult is such a fucking weirdo.
That's why I wait until you're here, Ashin.
Is that right?
Yeah,
No,
but
that's true. That's
Emily
true.
doesn't do
aye.
referencing Star Wars or Back to the Future and all that
but
shit.
not even that. Just other cool things that you would
He had all the cool
you would
things.
claim,
Oh, cool things.
claim you haven't seen.
Like what, guys?
You know what? Off the top of my head, I can't think. Jurassic Park, as he said, he hasn't seen that.
Nope.
Haven't seen it.
I think he said on our previous podcast.
I don't think we put that one out then.
seen Jurassic
I
Park.
was also greatly disproved with something on that one. I'm glad it didn't get released. I was made to look like a fool by my friend.
What was this now?
None.
What was this now?
That was none okay. Man, I've just
No,
been loving.
what did Delta
Just been loving out my love for Pirates of the Caribbean a
What did
bit
Delta,
too hard.
What did Delta think dinosaurs could do or something? What do they think? Did
Oh,
Delta think
it's
that,
so much worse.
what was it?
Something.
Picture what you just said there now, dinosaurs, but picture it like a sea dinosaur, sort of, but like not like a kraken because they're not real, but like Calypso maybe, like the god of the seas. The goddess
Oh
of
yeah,
the sea.
that's right. I remember now.
It's
aye.
definitely a real thing that I was not disproved on a previous podcast.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
You thought
the sea god
Just
from
to-
Pirates of the
just to
Caribbean.
let everybody
I
know
didn't
that.
think it was real or existed. I just thought that it was from
folklore.
folklore. I believe those were the words I used.
folklore. Yes, pirate
Man,
folklore.
haven't you read
Pirate
that?
folklore.
Have you not ever read any folklore?
Man, I'm
What
sorry,
do you guys
but
be reading?
are you not up to scratch in your pirate folklore?
Man, you're a bit rusty.
man, hello, pirate wiki there, please.
Catching scurvy from reading too much about it, hey?
You need to get yourself some orange pills.
Does that cure it?
I don't know, probably.
Nah.
That's what they say.
Probably.
Vitamin C.
But no good though, because that's the reason they got scurvy in the first place, is because they had no orange peels, because all their fruit rotted. I
No,
believe.
I thought they just never brought none.
No, I think they just did they not get scurvy from like lack of vitamins because they didn't need any fruit or vegetables
Ah,
because it all
but why would
perished.
you bring any? Because
Because
it
they
would
did
perish.
at the start, like, then it perished, and they were like, "Oh, I can't do that thing." Need they just eat fucking spuds probably
Shoot seagulls out of the sky.
with their swords?
Just like
Come
no,
on, man.
well, they had like
What, with a cannon?
muskets and such. Aye,
They shot out with their
blow
shot,
it out of the sky.
fucking hunting with cannons,
Yeah.
shooting some birds out of the sky. Now that's real fucking game. If you can do it,
With a
if you
cannon.
can do that,
Cannons
With
are
a
such
cannon,
a
man.
practical weapon.
don't seem too easy to aim.
No, like it takes like a half an hour to aim it.
It's like, where do you want to fire it over there?
Aye, where do you want to fire? Over there. Okay, lads.
There's
Come
about
on.
10 people here
Push
returning
it
it.
this way. It's like pushing a car and a bump start it. It's like you gotta like. There's a good like. You know when like you push something that's so heavy you can like lean on it and you can almost lean completely horizontally, but you're still
Aye.
pushing like
Yeah.
that. So you'd have to do that kind of push to aim. And by the time you'd aimed, the ship or whatever you're aiming at has probably moved quite a bit.
Or already shot you because they've been planning their
More than
cannonball
likely already
attack
shot you.
for
I
the
think
last
the whole
25
point
minutes.
in having like the whole side of the ship. I'm sure they didn't have like all the cannons in one place because they were like, oh, we need them all spread out so that hopefully like one of them had something.
I guess what they just fired the ball and like hope for so.
Oh, what a terrible way to fight too.
That's what like most people like died from like those kind of attacks from splinters as opposed to actual being
I'd imagine so,
explosive
like
or impact or
and
anything.
then you
Like
right
shrapnel and
right in the fucking chops.
just
there.
like because it just tears up a whole boat and boats be made of wood back in.
boats be made of wood.
Boats be made of wood back in.
And you know what is bad for boats made of wood?
Splinters,
Cannonballs.
cannonballs.
As
To give you splinters.
a boat made of wood's mortal enemy, I believe.
Yeah, splinters are not a wooden boat's mortal enemy.
No. It's actually made of splinters. Loads of tiny wee splinters all put together.
That then become splinters and kill you apparently
Yeah.
when cannonballs hit.
It's going right. I was thinking, like fighting must have been so shite up until, like, right. I mean, now it's really shit. All right. It's
Aye.
fucking terrible now. Okay.
Depends who you say.
But now you can go to like Afghanistan and like the chance of you coming back, it's not fantastic, but it's better than if you joined like Napoleon's army and you have to walk 100 feet from each other in a field and you just like pack your gun up full of gunpowder and aim it at the guy and the other guy, he's aiming at you as well and then you all fire at the same time. A lucky drop, you reload and then you do it again. Like how shite does that
or
sound?
like who was it? Like
what a
is it-
terrible way to fight.
was it in the First or Second World War as well? I can't remember what army, but their front line had guns, and then whenever they got killed, the people behind them lifted their guns.
Russians.
It was the Russians.
Yeah.
Aye,
did
because they
have
were
enough
just sending
guns.
numbers like.
They did that in World War II as well.
Was it in World War Two?
They did as
Or
both
both?
wars. Like they would be like, I'm not 100% they did in World War One.
Did
They
they
were.
in the second?
They
then?
were. Nah, in World War One, were they still a? They were still a.
I think it was the Second World
They
War where
weren't
they had to do that. thing.
communists in World War One yet, were they? No, the Bolsheviks
no.
started the revolution while
1917. Oh well,
World War One
during
was
them,
happening. Aye. So they probably would have had quite a strong army back then,
Mm-hmm.
because like the Tsar would want to bolster his troops.
Well, they just had people. Like they had loads and loads of people.
Aye.
That's what
But
I mean. They
no-
obviously didn't
but
have
like-
a fantastic army if they didn't have enough
Nah,
guns.
but I'd imagine they'd have a better army than after the Bolshevik revolution, revolution because a king needs a really
Aye,
strong
especially
army.
in Russia.
Do you know
It's
what
such
I
a
mean?
big.
Aye, like
place.
a militarized place as well.
Aye.
But like, an Enemy at the Gates, if you've ever seen that,
No.
it's really really good war film about World War II, about Stalingrad and the snipers of Stalingrad. And at the start you see the guy who ends up becoming like the one of Russia's like great heroes because he was like the sniper, the guy who
Aye.
killed like all the Nazi officers in fucking Stalingrad, like
The Russian cross guy.
basically the
all.
Russian Chris Kyle of World War II. But at the start, you see him running off the boat. He's like not got a gun. He's not got any gear yet. And they're like they run up to the back of these trucks, and one guy's getting handed a gun, and the other guy gets handed a fucking wee clip of ammo. And he's like, you run behind him, and when he runs out of ammo, you hand him that. And then when he drops, you just pick his gun up.
Oh, it's fucked.
And they just run on the hail of machine gun fire. And then like he's like a really good shooter, but he can't fucking get a gun. So he's just running around with no gun trying to find one. And he picks up one that's fucking out of bullets and nightmare just.
Nightmare altogether
Just
really
a
for all the boys.
nightmare.
All the boys were stuck
But
at
no,
the
but, like, imagine that though. You get drafted into the army and then they send you in without a fucking gun.
I don't know what it
They
is.
just send you in. They be like, "Hey, pick up somebody's.
Aye.
Pick up what? Fight." It's like, here, join up, lads. Hey, man, get into that fight, but hey, go find your own gun.
Aye, that's
Like we're
fucked.
gonna make you go find your own gun, and if you come back because you can't find one, we're gonna shoot you.
And if you come back, we'll probably just take your gun and give it to somebody else. That's
Aye.
what it works.
More likely.
That's what seems to work so far.
That must have been so.
I wouldn't have been a fan of the
Terrible.
old of being involved with some like trench warfare or anything. That sounds nasty. Getting cold feet.
That's the log game, as they call
You
it.
get wet feet.
Oh fuck!
I've heard you get wet feet,
big
man.
trench foot.
Like
Hey,
dirty trench feet.
elephant man feet.
Oh, that was nasty looking, isn't it? Trench foot. Do people still get that in our places?
Don't Google that. Hey,
You still get that, don't
I
you?
don't need.
But it,
Aye,
like
well,
not.
you would obviously still get it.
I imagine like
It's
you know like
just not
people.
called trench foot.
You know
anymore.
people who like farm rice. I'd imagine that you would get it walking about in fucking rice paddies all day.
Well, it's more dry there, so you wouldn't.
No, but you're still walking in like water, like wet.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like-
But they're walking on their bare feet. I don't think it's about like being in the wet all the time. I think it's about like
Your shoes
like,
being in the
those
wet.
guys
and-
were like standing in the wet and the muck and the dirt and just rotting all the time and never getting a wash. And just they were there for months in the same kind of clothes. They probably just slept in those clothes as well with their foot in the muck. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? So that's
I
how
like
that
your
developed.
socks and
I
your
don't-
boots and
I-
stuff
I
are
would
never
doubt
going to
that,
dry
like,
out.
Farming the rice paddies for the
Aye.
day and then getting out
Suppose.
and being dry the rest of the day. Those guys were like 24/7,
Aye.
365, soaked.
True.
Do you know what I mean? That's how the trench foot developed, I think.
And then what was it? Just like bacteria or something that forms just in the and all the dirt.
Just like it affects. I think it's like some kind of staph infection.
Right.
Sort of like the thing UFC fighters get when they get all sweaty and stuff
Aye.
that roll about the mats. I don't know if that's the same thing, but it looks really similar. It's fucking horrible anyway. Not even a war-related thing, but just
No, I
something
know. Just one of the
that-
shit bonuses.
Just one of the shit fucking bonuses
the
that
shit
happens
add-ons,
when
hey.
you go.
Fucking.
Fuck me.
It's like, oh well, I suppose it's not going to be great out there trying to kill Nazis, and then you're out in trenches as well,
Oh.
fucking getting trench feet.
Or you go to
And
like,
you're like,
oh yeah, I'm going on a UN peacekeeping mission to the Congo. Come back with malaria. Do you know what I mean?
fuck that thing.
You just it's so fucked that you would even conscription back then must have been so scary. Just sitting in your house and the next morning you could get a letter.
And it's
saying,
like, oh, you're up.
you have been selected.
You have been chosen.
Uncle Sam needs you.
Uncle Sam
You're
calls on
gonna be
you.
a star, Sonny. Join the army.
Fantastic, hey.
Every
Great
man in
news.
the 1940s had that voice as well.
They definitely. It seemed like it was the broadcasting voice. That's an orbit in the much on web
Those
look as
massive
well.
fucking mics.
It's like whenever it's like a sketch of like them inventing TV and like what they're trying to do the first TV station. They're all standing different ways from the camera, trying to figure out what will be the right
should
way
we
to do
talk
it.
normal like this? Should we talk like regular human beings, or should we talk like that?
It's just talking like that, and the camera's like to the side of his face. It's, I think this is good. This looks great.
Do you
fucking
think
gold.
it should be in front of us, or do you think it should be off to the side?
I think off to the side.
Yeah.
Imagine if everybody still talked like that
Do
on
you know what?
TV.
I think that might be like a thing that carried over from early radio broadcasts.
It seems like
Like I think that might have because I think most of the guys who transferred to TV, like news broadcasters and stuff, would have came from the radio because like they were the
Aye.
guys who could speak for long periods of time or whatever. And like early TV was very slow and
limited.
limited as you should say. But I think a lot of those guys would have transferred over and just like not changed the deal. Like just like, I can just speak like I do on the radio.
Aye, because probably too on the radio you have to have a more entertaining voice
'Cause,
because
like,
people are
now-
listening to you just.
Now the morning radio voice is like, hey, this is morning radio with. You know what I mean? It's like,
Radio's gone to shit.
there's
Hey.
there's like a voice for morning radio now, but then back then like, yeah, it sound like this.
There's
You know
this
what I
there's this fucking bit on Radio 1. It's on a Thursday. I always hear it at the same time, and it's like people phoning in, and so that one of their parents can talk about how they were conceived, and they're all on the phone call.
Oh,
Like the
so
last
is this like them attempting to be banter?
Aye.
Attempting to do banter.
It's like, oh, Scotty, you prick.
Oh my god, I can't
Scotty,
believe
you
you said that on the radio,
cheeky,
Mum.
mate, cheeky.
Oh, you absolute belter.
That's all that
Oh,
bullshit.
fuck.
But fucking the one last week, your doll's ma conceived her on fucking Concorde.
Oh
On the
my
way-
god, that's interesting.
won-
That's okay.
They'd won fucking some holiday or something, and part of the package was that they'd fly on Concorde, and they conceived their child on
Jesus.
Concorde. And everybody gave them knowing glances when they came out, apparently.
Ah, nah.
It was the 80s,
How do you
wasn't
know?
it?
How do you know? How do you know what happened on Concord?
Is it called Where Did It Happen?
No, I can't remember what it's called.
You sure it's not
Everybody-
that?
Everybody be fucking all the time in the 80s, man. There
Type
was
in
talk about like,
Radio 1 Thursday, 2 o'clock.
this.
And see if we can find that.
It's
but I don't know.
probably just a segment that you're never
Yeah.
going to find.
Yeah.
Delta. But,
And man, all the music that is on the radio these days, I don't want to sound like a fucking hipster, but
No,
jeez, man.
I know what you mean.
But
man.
it's like it is, and it is all the same. It's just the same
it
shit.
is. Whenever Radio 1 used to
Exotic,
be on at work,
exotic beats.
and I used to be in the same room and work for hours,
Aye.
and Radio 1 used to be on, like, you hear the same tunes every, like, I don't know how many it is they play in a row. They play,
There's like 10 songs that they're going to
aye.
play 12 times that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It just
whatever
does
the
a
top
loop.
10 is.
Aye. And then maybe like, the next person comes on and then plays like 2 tunes from a couple of years ago, and then the exact same 10 songs again.
Aye.
And you're like, oh, right, I see what you're doing. You're just trying to fill everybody in this thing and you're mixing it up.
That's because I think it's whenever, if you get like track of the week or something on Radio 1, I think you get like, it's like 12 or 15 plays a day or
Yeah.
something as well. So you're just on all the time.
But I don't know if radio was ever good or if, right?
No, I think it's just, they just, like, I think now they have to make a real big effort to get people involved, whereas, because people aren't on the radio anymore.
No,
You know what I mean?
but I think
I think they're reaching now.
They're reaching out, but like I think it's like pandering to a bigger audience as well, though.
Or try it, they like.
Aye, because like you can just literally leave Radio 1 on, and it's sort of like just like white noise background music almost.
It's like what we were chatting with last time, with
Yeah.
children's TV.
Yeah,
Just like,
it's just like white noise, and then the people talking on it aren't like, they don't talk about anything. They're just chatting shit.
They're just chatting
like,
pure shit.
But again, I don't think radio was ever, like radio was never like podcast. Radio never
No, it was
delved
never like
deep.
like talk radio would have had like long interviews
But
long
that's
interviews with
different
guests
from,
and stuff.
Like
But if there's a guest or something on like Radio 2 or
like
something or
that.
Radio 1 or whatever,
Yeah.
they're on for like maybe 15 minutes tops.
yeah, it's like a talk show.
And it's just like a couple of questions or whatever, and they're playing songs in between.
But like, I mean, there was.
But
there
you
was
used to have
stuff-
radio shows like the Archers and stuff.
Aye, I
Like
know.
people were way more into radio.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I mean, there was stuff back in like the 90s, like Howard Stern and stuff in America, which was like a really big like morning radio show. But again, like I think that was internet radio. Even so, or
Internet
like
radio was sort of nearly going to
not
be big, I think, for a
really
while.
internet radio, but like, you know what I mean? It was like digital radio, whatever. Because I don't think he was on like terrestrial radio stations. Because he had pretty dirty shit going on in the studio and all. He was crazy.
Right.
Like they had porn stars on and shit, like just crazy shit. Like, but he then like transferred to, fucking, like, internet radio then, and he has his shows last for like 3 hours, but like he refuses to like call it a podcast because I think they might still play music.
Well, that's what like
But
what
most
Henry
of
Rollins'
it-
show was.
most
That's a
of
radio
it
show,
is
but it's
like-
like a podcast.
Aye, most of it's talking.
Most there's like that like if you listen to that one with Ian MacKay on, and they're like talking about because they were like really good friends like at the start of the kind of American hardcore phase,
That sounds
and they
like a
were
really good
going to all
one, aye.
these shows together, and they're on talking about that, and then they're talking about all the bands they've seen, and they're playing songs from it. So like radio like that's good. It's like that's like a good
Yeah.
blend of radio and podcast because
But
it's
that's
informative,
like, that's still a basically
interesting.
a podcast. Like,
aye, but with songs every like 5 to 10 minutes.
the gang it all comes. I think like this is another thing we've been tricked into thinking. Like, you know when people say that. Sorry, I'm coughing away that.
It's okay, get it out. Better out than none.
You know whenever like, people are like, it's always the same type of people would say it too. They're like, I was born in the wrong generation. I wish I was born in insert this here. You know what I mean?
Aye,
Just because
70s,
they like
80s,
the
90s.
music from then.
Or one person from there.
A certain type of music from then.
Aye.
Right? And that kind of style or whatever, right? That's cool and all. But like, I think that's like a misconception. Like, if you go back and look at what was like if you were flying about in the, like the 90s or whatever, like Nirvana wasn't playing everywhere in the radio.
Well, no, not until I died.
Do you know what I mean?
Until
I
Kurt
like
Cobain died,
like
they were big, but then they were massive.
what was Nirvana's biggest year? 1994.
Like whenever Nevermind came out, that was whenever they were at their peak. Nevermind was their when Nevermind came out, like 93, I think, maybe 92,
But
91.
ooh,
And then
that.
they like
Yeah.
they put a record after that as well. The one they did with what do you call it's called On Utero, isn't it? In Utero with Steve Albini, and it's like a completely different record. And then they kind of went down after Nevermind, and then they went way back up again when he died in 94, 95.
But like people think that if you were flying about back end, you're that side, you just like hear that everywhere, and like the culture would reflect that. But if you look up like what was number one then,
Aye.
Wasn't anything off.
Aye, but you better believe in 1987 that everybody was listening to Appetite for Destruction. Because they were like.
They were.
And it was, that like, those kinds of things, whenever stuff was that big, it was on the fucking radio, like.
But you're still like.
Because they were huge.
Oh, no, it was definitely on the radio. But like, it wasn't like, I think everybody thinks that like, it dictate like.
It wasn't all
back then,
like
grunge. That's what
aye.
everybody dressed like. Everybody was like that.
You put on the radio and it's all you hear.
Like,
No, you
in
still
the
hear
80s,
everything
like,
else.
oh, in the 80s, everybody was fucking punk or whatever. No.
I'd say for sure though back
the
then
80s
there was
is
more.
Michael Jackson territory, man. Like he was the biggest person in the world back then. This is like completely unrelated to everything that's going on right now. Just talking about his music.
Aye.
He was like on top of the world back then. So you can't say that like, oh, I'd love to be back in the 80s whenever the type of music I like was going on. No, I mean like pop. Pop is pop, no matter what. Like
It's still it's always been there. Like
do you know what I mean?
I'd say there was definitely like a better blend though of music, like a more variety of genres and stuff. Like because you would have had like Aerosmith and stuff on the radio as well.
Yeah, you
and
would.
like David Bowie
I
and like
still don't
all
think
like.
it was on as much as you think it was.
No,
I think
but
it
I
was
mean,
on
whenever-
choice stations,
But,
and
man,
that was it.
If you were on a major label back then, the way major labels operated back then with their dirty sharkiness and stuff, if you were putting out a fucking album, your single's going to be on the radio every day, flat out, the way they still do it now. Do you know what I mean? It's still like you, so you're still like all those bands who were big that people like, they would have been on, but just it wasn't all that music. But that's what I mean. I think there was like a far better blend.
Like people think that it was just like all that. It was like that's all you heard was like good, like Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, like, all
like,
the best of the
you
best.
don't hear shit like that anymore because there's no rock bands that are putting out stuff that's making that big of an impact.
No, well,
And
not
even whenever Aerosmith or whoever's still putting out stuff or whatever, it's not like it doesn't seem to be counted as part of their discography. You know what I mean? It's just like they've put out something else so they can do a tour.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like fuck
the
the
only
album.
one I can think
Even with Metallica at this point, like whenever that last album came out,
Foos are kind of still doing it.
sort of, but they're still. I think they're
I
hitting
like that new album. It's different.
They're hitting that like downhill.
They are definitely hitting the downhill.
Like riding it out, taking it easy, getting old.
Kinda,
it's like we'll take our time. We'll call fucking hiatus and then take our time for the next few years.
What was that new album called Concrete Gold, wasn't it?
Is it Concrete Gold? Concrete and Gold?
But I thought I liked it.
I liked a couple of tunes off, but like as a whole, like I wouldn't sit down and listen to it as a full album. But there's other Foo Fighters albums that I would listen to in full, like even Wasting Light as well, which is more
If I was
recent.
on a Foo Fighters binge and those songs came on, I wouldn't be angry that they came on.
Aye, but like that's what I mean, like as a whole album. But you like look back at their
it's not my go-to.
all their other albums, and they're all great albums from start to
Wasting
finish.
Light's my go-to, and
Like
then
Sonic Highways is when it started to go
Foo
downhill.
Fighters as well is a good album, just the self-titled one.
I think you know something's kind of changed or something's going wrong when the documentary you put out about your album's better than your actual album.
True.
Because that was a class documentary where you go around all different cities.
I've seen.
Have you seen it?
I've seen
six
some of
parts.
it. I haven't seen all of it.
It's really good.
And you told me to watch one of the parts. Was really good. I can't remember.
It's like the Ian Mackay and HR from Bad Brains is on it as well, and like the DC episode or whatever. Like because that's what each song's about or whatever. It's meant to be
music documentary.
Or it's either that or like, each song's influenced by somebody who they like from there or something. But the documentary was a lot better than the album, which is a shame. But it's good because the documentary was good.
Yeah, but other than them, I can't think of anybody that is like releasing anything of worth really. Because even though that's not great, it's still like an album that like you're
It's
like.
still something I'm going to listen to some of the songs off.
Aye, it's still good. Like.
We have a new record out. Apparently, it's just straight up pop.
Yeah, it is now. I've heard it. They did a whole pile of covers.
Well, I think that was just all PR.
Promote the album on YouTube or whatever, but they did like all the songs that are like.
They did Toto Africa.
Yeah,
And then they did Toto do a cover of.
I think they did like
Weezer.
Land Down Under as well, and like all these.
Oh really?
Yeah, all these like tunes from back in the day that are like, I don't know what they are, like off-brand pop. I don't know, weird.
Sorta.
Kinda
Weirdness.
Like, those tunes hold a place of their own in music. I don't know what they are.
It's just those ones that like slipped under the radar but still
They're still
remained.
up there. I'm trying to now drum up other ones in my head.
It is like that like off-brand
One-hit
pop
wonder
is like
kinda.
But no, it's not really one hit wonder because like loads of those bands that would fall under that and loads of those artists were big
Well.
or like they were bigger than One Hit Wonder status. Like they might have had a big album.
One Hit Wonder, like they had like 2 or 3 big.
So there's One Hit Wonders who have a really big hit, and then like that is literally it. It was a single. It
Who-
came
who
out, and
did
the
that
album
song,
did terrible.
Video called The Radio Star.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Can't look
Or,
that up.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood. No, that's
the band.
group. Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Is it?
Relax by Frankie Goes
The
to Hollywood.
Buggles.
Yeah, look.
Doesn't know what.
Who the fuck are they? I bet it's the Bugles.
The Bugles. It's got 2 G's though.
Is it? Nah, right enough, The Buggles. Weird, hey.
No, like I don't know anything else that they've done.
It says members Hans Zimmer.
What? Hans Zimmer
way.
was in that? Oh my god!
It's like I'm checking out.
Oh my god!
Guys,
I can't believe it.
I'm moving on. Guys, I'm leaving the band.
Is Hans Zimmer the Michael Jackson of the Buggles? Is he the only one that made it?
The Beyonce of Destiny's
The
Child.
Beyonce of
Was she
the
in
Buggles?
Destiny's Child? She was, wasn't she?
Aye, she was the only one that really.
Sweet reference.
Oh no, well I don't know. There was one more.
Kelly fucking
Nah,
yep, from Destiny's Child.
Roland Clarkson.
Kelly Rowland. She did well for a while. Let's just pause that Hans Zimmer. Get on
Just
to
pause Hans Zimmer being in
some
that
DC, some Destiny's Child.
Who's in Destiny's Child then? Kelly Rowland died.
Aye, and then there's the other one. Did she die or something? Probably.
No, she's just gone.
That's what I mean. Like, but aye.
Who else was in it?
Was there what? There's been loads of them.
Michelle Williams. I think Michelle Williams was the first one. Yeah. And then
Anyway, can we go back to Hans Zimmer?
Yeah,
being
go
in
back
that
to
band?
Hans.
Hans Zimmer being is this like what is this unknown lore? Is this unknown Zimmer
Hey,
lore?
we've been reading up on our
We've-
Zimmer lore.
We've got hard Zimmer knowledge now, man.
Man, that's a bit crazy there, isn't it? That's not a bit mad. It's not
So-
one of them things you're just like, hey, that's a bit mad.
So hold on. Just for anybody who doesn't, we kind of did like we're all over the place at the moment with us.
Yeah.
So Hans Zimmer was in the group The Buggles.
The Buggles.
The Buggles, who released the song Video Killed the Radio Star.
Aye. What? Bizarre. What did he do?
Why is this so...
What did he play in it?
This is so strange.
Go on, type in now Hans Zimmer, The Buggles.
He seems to play the banjo.
Really?
Maybe?
What does he play?
Which one is he? Is he the one on the right?
Oh, pure
I
us.
think
He
so,
is
he is.
so
No,
Is it
he's
just-
neither of those two, actually.
Really?
Oh,
Is he?
yeah.
Did he produce it or something, or is he even involved? Really? I really want him to be in the
I
in the band.
really want him
Well,
to
it
be in
says,
that.
no, it says members Hans
Aye.
Zimmer. So,
Well, he
There's
might-
only 2 of them in the
maybe
pictures,
one of
though.
them left, and then he stepped in and they had that fucking hit.
Maybe it's one of those things where it's like that fucking thing Cascada, who I thought was one girl, but it's actually like a 3 person unit.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know, right? There's like a DJ and a producer.
What? I didn't know
It's
that.
a whole. It's a trip.
Cascada.
Cascada
Yeah.
is a trip.
Cascada, that's funny. By the way, Cascada.
I thought it was Cascada because it sounded like a girl's name.
No, I understand what you mean now,
Aye.
but it's kind of like Diane. Where do you think there's only 2 of them, but there's actually a DJ as well.
Aye, exactly. Like Hans Zimmer might have been that guy that was just.
produced it for the background.
Aye,
now.
doing song.
Oh, he's the guy in the back. No,
I played the strings.
but that's mad. I didn't know Cascada was a 3-person group. So, not that it matters that Cascada is a 3-person group. I don't know why it's so shocking. I think it's just because it was like a part of our childhood that I care.
Speak for yourself,
bit.
brother.
But like back then.
Nah, man, that's like
hold on.
that's
No,
one
it
thing.
might not have been a part of your childhood.
I was
but you
very much aware of
100%
it.
Fucking heard.
Oh, I
One of
definitely.
the songs.
No,
You if somebody said like a song title, you'd know it.
Aye, and I'd probably sing along now. I'd probably just know
You'd
it.
know it
You know what I mean?
from being exposed to it.
Aye, no,
Do you know what I mean?
That's
So, like,
definitely one
I'm
thing that I
shocked.
never subscribed to was the kind of DJ.
Oh no, that
Never.
the
Hey.
kind of tunes that you roll a Corsa.
Aye.
You roll a red Corsa with a blue door off like an embankment.
But I will
You
subscribe.
every one of you dies. There's 80s in the car. He's all die.
Always, hey. But I do subscribe to that kind of the rave that's on Spaced, the TV show Spaced, like whenever Michael
Oh
Tyers.
no, right, okay.
or
There's a
fuck- or
time
whatever
and
you call
place for
him.
a
Michael.
Michael
He's called Michael Tyers. Horribly wrong. Tyers.
Very wrong, yeah.
Where Tyers is dancing that kind of rave, where it's just like dulled noises.
I know.
There's
I know what
no
you mean
there's
now.
no like high pitch like. That's just,
No, is it? He's like looking around the kitchen like a kettle's going on.
You want to go to an underwater rave then?
I want something like that sounds like you're
A
underwater.
rave under the sea.
Aye.
There's a time and a place for raving, but like I don't understand those people
Yeah,
who can like
it's on the past.
like but no, but what I mean that is like dancing to dance music. Dance music should only ever really be played if you're on a dance floor.
At very loud
Like-
volumes. It should be played on a phone under a bridge.
Yeah, like do you know what I mean? Like
Or it
there's
should.
a-
No, I take that back. It should only be played
on a phone under a
out of a
bridge,
phone under a bridge.
and on the back of a bus
On a plastic cup.
beside your head like that
Aye.
on your iPhone. But like, there's the YouTube channel Dose Buckley, the one I like. He doesn't include dance music, so like DJs in his top 10 worst songs of the year because he's like, what like it's for dancing at a stupid club with a pile of drunk people.
It's not really
like,
for just
it's
sitting
not-
listening to
yeah,
like,
it's not like I'm not going to include it because it doesn't really count as music. It's for its own purpose. Like it's for getting fucked up and dancing to. It's not really like. But what I find super weird is people who like lie in bed and like listen to. Do you know what I mean? Like
Aye.
it's pure mad.
when
like,
you just hear someone's
you can
earphones in
hear-
the
your
bus,
earphones like, doof,
someone just something like us, just deadpan on a box,
Aye.
staring at nothing.
Aye,
There's
like,
fucking
you're
this
going, "Hey,
war
man."
going on inside their head.
But I know they would probably say to us about how can you listen?
Yeah,
to
how can you listen to that? Them
fucking
screaming
insanity,
bastards.
screaming fucking crazy.
I heard
screamo
someone
bands.
say rock music the other day for the first
Aye.
time in ages. You listening to that rock music?
That's funny. Hey.
I know.
Oh my god, I thought you were listening to rock music or something.
Rock music. Hey.
Just, hey, take that and throw it, hey.
Well, another thing I liked was the general term hippie around here.
Aye.
Like, hippie didn't just mean like long hair, loves flowers and drives a Volkswagen van, like the classic hippie. It covered a broad span.
Aye.
It really meant anybody who like listened
All hair
to
below the ear.
listened to different types of music and had any hair below your ear in any way, shape, or form. Just like anything that wasn't that cut around the sides,
Aye.
spiked at the back and slicked down at the front.
Oh, you like just flattened on the front.
I saw a politician. I think he's running for the SDLP. I believe his name's Barr. I have no idea what his
Oh,
first name
aye,
is. Jason Barr.
Jason Barr.
Jason Barr. Jason Barr. I don't give a fuck if you fucking see this. Your hair's terrible, my
That's
friend.
bad.
Get out of 2008, man. What's
Man,
he doing?
I bet he's one of them boys. You could go back through all his profile pictures.
They're
and
all the
just
same.
exact
It's just
same.
changed different
The hair's
filters
like
on them.
pointing different ways, just across the ears. 2011.
But man,
2012.
it's such a, it's such like you know back then like that was the standard haircut. Like that was the standard like haircut for all
Aye.
children back in the day. Like was the shaved around the sides tight and then like slicked over at the front, spiked hard at the back, and it was rock solid.
Oh.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
You could head a football and just.
Oh, I would just shoot back up. I didn't
That's the
even
way it was
move.
advertised.
It busted a football. It was just sitting on your head. But he's got. There was loads of different variations of it. So there's always guys who like did it pure perfect, and like the front would be so perfectly fingered, and the back would be so perfectly spiked, and all dickheads. And then there'd be boys who just didn't give a fuck. Just like. But he's got like. Oh man, I don't know what he's done with it. He's got like a half mix between like he's definitely went politician-y with the hair.
Aye, but he's still maintaining
But
that
he's still
Strabane.
maintaining that like slicked at the front, spiked at the back thing. So it looks like that, but it's way like too well done.
Aye.
Oh man, it's. Oh.
I also sort of knew who he was throughout school, and he has he's looked the exact same since like first year. He's one of them boys.
Aye, I know what you mean. I know exactly.
Since I
what
was
you
in
mean.
first year, since he was in
I
third
don't.
year.
I am bad with remembering.
I believe we were in the choir
people
together.
Exist.
I believe we did a bit of choraling together.
Bit of quarreling. Did you quarrel together?
We choraled together, I believe.
Oh no!
We were in a chorus together.
You ran
In
some,
the school show as well together.
got some hot.
Hey
licks
man,
together.
I was really cool in school.
Yeah, no man. I know you were cool in school. Hey, yeah, I went to school with you, man. We went to school together. Actually, we used to duck out. There was a nice trick we had.
Yeah.
Which was
It was a nice the old get dropped off and don't go on.
no.
No,
I was
alright.
thinking about the old, once that trick was discovered, the old get dropped off inside school, basically.
Yeah.
And then walk in the doors that were furthest away from the main entrance, around one of the corridors, which was a perfect circle, which led straight back out into the hallway where that door was.
Yep.
So we'd walk in 100 yards into school,
Right around.
take a hard left, another hard left, another hard left, 3 lefts don't make a right, Dualta.
No, but they do make
Then we
another
take
door.
a right, and then we're back out
Back
the
to square
doors
one,
again in
out the
perfect
doors.
time for everybody to have left. And we walk back down the road and
Freedom.
go smoke joints in our school uniforms.
Smoke joints in our uniforms and don't get got paid.
Get sunstroke or something.
Man, that's my auntie. Fuck. Man.
Man,
I
watch,
forgot.
Man.
Man,
We need to
my
get
thing
back
is
alleys,
shopping.
man.
Man, my shopping lady. Fuck, hey, canal, they fuck, so nobody sees, hey, fuck.
Snakes pit, man.
Chasing a fucking dragon up Smoker's Alley, bro. Oh, fucking dark old times in school, hey, with all that shit, doing all that kind of stuff. Nonsense, hey. See, if I was back here now, I'd be reading my books.
Aye,
Read my books.
is that right?
Man, I'd be reading my books and polishing my boots, hey.
You would not be doing any of those things, don't you?
Nah, I pure
You'd be
100%
doing
would, hey.
everything we did, but way more often. I think.
I don't think
The only
so,
way,
man.
like maybe
Well, I
once
think you're
or
wrong.
twice a week we duck out.
Man, I'm thinking of
Not
pursuing
cool.
education again, man. Don't do this to me.
Nah, but school's different.
I don't
School's
know,
different.
man.
It's child prison.
I know.
It's kiddie prison.
It's pretty. It's a shit place.
I think everything in school is made in such a way that it's do you know how I feel like a hospital? I think it feels like a hospital.
Everything's
It's
very
all-
sterile.
Yeah, sterile and straight, and all the angles are very, and nothing's very colourful, and everything's very like. I think it's made to kill your spirit.
Your spirit.
Do you ever be in one of those classes as well with a teacher never? Yeah,
Your spirit.
your spirit. You be in one of those classes where the teacher never opened the blinds. You could never see
darkness.
outside. It's just darkness all the time.
Darkness.
I hated those cunts.
And you
hey.
could see, but you could see like the lines.
Slither of light.
You'd see like it's really sunny outside. Oh, please.
And then if the one that the blinds me, but you're like, outside.
It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
We went to such a, just for anybody listening who doesn't know, it's such a terrible school.
Yeah, that wasn't all that sterile all the time when there was
No.
people's teeth like rolling across the floor and all.
I went into one of the
Riots.
toilets one time, and somebody had, you know the way the top of the toilet where the push button thing is, to
Aye.
flush it. You know the way sometimes it's got like it's like a tiny bowl as
Mm-hmm.
well. Somebody had just filled that with piss. Right, I was like, why? Why did you do that? Somebody also at our school, you know this, shit in a soap dispenser.
Phantom Shatter.
The Phantom Shatter.
The Phantom Shatter of
It was then
2013. It was discovered.
wasn't the Phantom for too
later
long.
revealed, and he was just a shatter. That was a funny time as well. Apparently, in a different school that I know somebody who went to, they said that they had a female Phantom Shatter or a male Phantom Shatter who went into the girls' toilets, maybe, I don't know, and shat in the tampon dispenser.
I thought that was the one
No.
in our school.
No, that was soap dispenser.
So I heard that story.
Soap
and then
dispenser in
got
our
my
school.
Wires crossed.
Tampon dispenser in
I
our school.
See, that's terrible. Imagine sticking your hand into. Just think you're getting your tampon. You just grab a big log.
You know what that feels like, do you?
Oh.
You're talking about it like you do.
I've never grabbed a log.
You're
but-
like, man, you know, like whenever you're going to get your tampon from the
Ah, no,
tampon
of course,
dispenser.
Like, man, have you never?
And it's like instead of that nice, warm, safe feeling that you're going to be okay, it's actually a turd in your hand.
And
And
instead
you've
of-
already tried to put it
And
in.
instead of the extra large tampon that I wanted, it was actually a turd.
Yeah, it was actually a small, hot turd.
What?
But on scale as the same size
you
as
know
a tampon.
what? It'll do.
Aye, and that's exactly what you did. I fucking reckon read you like a book, hey. I can read you like a book, hey.
I was
Dirty boy.
going to add as well, talking about our school, we had the type of, I think this is a good description for our school, right? We had the type of school where every week we had PE, and our PE was, go play football, boys.
Aye, and you're out to do
And
kickboxing once. Until
I-
somebody nearly died and was like, right boys, no more kickboxing.
Hurley, once.
was- I say
Somebody
ki-
died,
I say-
no more hurley.
I say kickboxing, but it was definitely just like pads and gloves and it turned
And
into
then we
kickboxing.
turned it into kickboxing. Volleyball, boys? Nah, somebody nearly died. Had to do it once. I remember I got banned from rugby. Unallowed to play.
Too big for everybody else in your year.
Nah.
Ashton's 2 years older than everybody.
Dangerous moves, lad.
Because he got held back, you see, for being so stupid.
That's it. Got
For
held
being
back,
so
eh?
dumb. Ashen be quite dumb. Did school twice.
What?
I see. See?
Sorry.
Nah, but Ashen
Just
was
doing
2 years older than everybody in his year, so he looked like a giant compared to everybody else. Like in first years are fucking
I don't
small.
think age has anything to do with me looking like a giant compared to everybody else.
Yeah, well, you were. Nah, true. You're even at that age, you still would have been taller than everybody else.
A hard 6 foot at 12.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not that lad.
On the cusp, hey. On
Do
the
you know what I mean?
cusp.
No, I've only grown 3 inches in like 10 years.
That's funny.
Like I hit my pure peak really early, and then like
Like, might be able to make a
Like, grew
basketball
a
player
tiny
after
bit.
Sunday.
like I bet they were thinking he's gonna be like 18 feet tall by the time he's 20. Oh my god. You know what I mean? He's got so much more time to reach his full potential.
I caught me off guard. I went to Zoe. Cut that up a bit from shedding tears.
That was a really good I don't know what you call that, like I don't know, like a scale up on the tone of your voice when you're talking and you can't really breathe from coughing when you're like
Yeah, I was doing a smoking while I was doing a laughing. Alright.
Alright, so we had the pause because Dualta near died.
Near
Of,
died. Near died of laughing.
Smoke inhalation, I think.
Smoking and laughing.
Aye.
That's what I did.
Not a thing to do. No. Maybe you should do a PSA about smoking and laughing, Dualta.
Yeah, I know. It's a
We
real
should do an
serious thing that
advert.
can really affect podcasting.
Yep. Smoking off on here. I'd like to make everywhere smoky again.
Already smoky in here.
I would like to off the smoking ban.
Need to get the sock back on the smoke alarm.
No sock on that smoking alarm.
Man, the sock hasn't been on it.
Hey, maybe it's
Just
just
been
out
unsheathed.
of batteries or something.
Been unsheathed. It's probably not working.
I think everybody. Did everybody do people maintain smoke alarms?
I don't know. You're meant to get them serviced, but I think it's meant to be something that you do yourself. I don't think someone's going to come around.
No, my dad's like really.
Dad
like,
checks it maybe twice a day.
Oh yeah, no, 3 times, 4 times a day. Like, you know what I mean? He's getting a boy,
What are you doing?
Like,
You're just checking it.
and he's got 50 of them in every room. You know what I mean? Like 18 fucking.
The skirting board's lined with carbon monoxide detectors as well.
Aye. Do you know what I mean?
Have you got one of them? in the
Fire
house?
sniffing dogs out the back or whatever.
Becky's have one of them.
What's this?
Carbon
Thing?
monoxide
Of
detector.
course.
The
Of course.
texter. Fucking
I don't know what it
carbon
does. I don't know what
monoxide
it's
texter.
for.
man.
Like, where does carbon monoxide come from?
I don't know, man, but you don't want it.
But why do I need?
You don't want it, and it's undetectable, and you don't notice yourself
shouldn't
breathing
have it in
it
my
in,
house,
for
then.
it's invisible, and then them things beep whenever it's about.
Ooh. Where does it come from? Gas.
I don't know. I think it's like if you have like gas and shit in your house, like older houses, it's more likely. I think. I'm not too sure. I could be
Gas
chatting.
is not a thing I want to have wired.
Could be
to
chatting out
my
my
house.
ass right now, man. But
Like I always I'm so just distrusting of things like gas mains wired. To
yeah, I
my
don't
house.
like things that
It's
are
like,
invisible.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. You should put a bomb in my house, fine.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
gas is scary. Hey,
why can't we just have an electric stove?
like there was this boy I used to drink in a bar I used to frequent, and he fucking got like really badly burned from his leaving the fucking stove on or something and coming back steaming, sparking a fag at this doorway, and the whole thing was full of gas and it just blew him out the door, and like the whole I think the whole one side, most of the front of his body's all burnt.
That's like
Really
something
badly.
from fucking 1,000 Ways to Die or something.
But he
That
didn't die,
terrible
like-
TV show from back
I
in the day.
I don't even think he could get like skin grafts really because so much of him was burnt. Do you know what I mean? So he's like a lot of it's burnt. I think he might have got like some kind of reconstructive surgery
Yeah, we saw.
because his face didn't look that bad, but it looked like it had been burnt.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like all
Isn't Freddy
like,
Krueger,
melty,
like-
puffed up, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. Like what happens if you get burnt that badly? Then you have no skin grafts. You can't get it from anywhere.
Oh, you just look like that.
It's fucked, hey. Scary stuff though. I think that the gas,
Like,
gas, eh?
gas is not the way to go.
Hey, gas, leave it in the past. That's gonna be the tagline of my gas PSA that I do right after the coughing and smoking one.
Well, like I came home one night and they said fire to the house with an electric stove.
Aye, but
As
that's
you well know.
out of sheer stupidity.
Came back steaming and thought I'd fry myself up some lovely gibbles and
With loads of oil.
with loads of oil, far too much oil apparently. When you're drunk, you don't measure stuff out. You just put it on.
You've been pouring your drinks bigger all night.
Aye, I'm just
fun.
used to doing
You're
it.
like,
you
oh,
know what I mean?
more oil, good time.
So fried up stuff, and then like I remember like trying to do the whole, you know the thing you do where you like go like that,
Where
and,
you
like
sh-
just
aye.
shake it a wee bit.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit, just to
Just
jiggle
to
a
give it
little
away,
bit,
just
like,
because
and
it
I
looks
just
like
went-
you're cooking.
It just fucking went up, man. And then I panicked, and because I was fucked up, the first thing I done was threw a big jug of water all over it.
Oh,
which
that's
just like went. Whoo,
That's the one thing
spread
you're-
the fire everywhere.
The one thing you're not meant to pour
I
on
was
something
panicking
like when it's
so
oil.
bad, hey, and then I remembered there's a fucking fire blanket in the kitchen that I had to then throw over the pan. But then once I threw it over, the rest of the cabinets and such were still kind of on fire.
I was in it all black above.
Yeah,
the
it was
fucking,
really black above the stove,
You
man.
just, oh, fuck.
I remember too,
Man.
like I have a real habit of leaving stuff in the oven until it just disintegrates.
Aye.
And nuke it, like. And I left, I don't know what, I left something on, might have been pizza, on one night in the oven, and then I woke up to smoke alarms at 6 o'clock in the morning. I fell asleep on the sofa, fucked, and like woke up to smoke alarms at 6 o'clock in the morning. When I walked out, and like it was just like a wall. So I like opened the door to the kitchen and couldn't see, and it was like a wall of smoke. It was so
Aye.
weird. It was like opening, and it was just smoke. And I walked in, and I was like, expecting to find the fucking monsters in the mast.
Wait, I fucking was privy to some disintegrating myself with some banana fritters one time.
Banana fritters.
Yeah, man. They
Weird
had a
thing to be
caravan.
cooking.
Had a
And
caravan.
wow, caravan.
On the way to the
themed.
caravan, it was. We got them on the way to the caravan shop.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like on the way to the caravan, you stop and you're getting your food, and
I
you're
see.
already about stoned on the way down, so you're buying things
You're
like
buying
banana fritters. Going, this will be great. And then you get to the caravan, and you've been smoking all day in the caravan, and the caravan's all smoky. And then you cook the banana fritters, forget about them for several hours,
Of
nearly 5 hours maybe.
4 to 5.
And we didn't notice all the smoke because of all the smoke that we were causing.
Ah,
and
I
plus,
see.
caravan, no smoke alarm.
Not a chance.
No, but then remembered about banana fritters, went, oh, banana fritters. Went and checked banana fritters. Said fritters were dust.
Dust.
Just black dust.
What?
It was like, that was
Exactly.
hey, don't ask me what banana
As
fritters are because I can't
a
remember. Hey, last time I seen them, they're a big pile of ash. If you ask me, they look like a big pile of ash.
I'm really interested in what
Gotta bring up some banana fritters
what the
for Ash in
fuck's
there.
a banana
They're like
fritter?
They're
deep
just
fried
like
bananas.
Deep, but
like
like
banana chips and batter that you cook, and they're sweet. And
Oh, they're
stuff.
fucking.
They're good.
I have had them before that, but
sound
that's the
pretty
last
good.
time I've experienced them.
they sound pretty good. Those look like profiteroles.
But not
Sort
really.
of, but with
Those
More
ones
banana.
on the
bananas
second.
inside, and they're warm.
Those ones on the second kind of look really nice.
Yeah.
They look
Yeah,
like
more
deep fried
banana than-
Mars
than
bars.
Usually
butter roll.
those in Chinese places like Jimmy Chung's and stuff have
Oh, Jimmy
those
Chung's
ones.
have them.
Yeah.
I must them. Hey, you
Oh
fucking
man,
serious?
you know what I got in Spain? Fucking churros, man.
Oh, churros are so
Churros
good, man.
are
You gotta
so
get them
good.
somewhere
Are
like
churros
Spain.
Spanish or are they
Aye.
Mexican?
No,
and
they're
then
Spanish.
They've adopted by Spanish.
No, I'm pretty sure they're Spanish.
Man, they're so damn good. Hey,
Aye, they're great.
like the ones I got were
Churros.
fucking
You have to roll
huge
the
as
R's, but I
well,
can't
like,
do it.
Do you know what I mean? They were massive and they tasted like a way better version of Dunkin' Donuts. But like,
Oh, you need to get one the size of like a
Long.
fucking hot dog or
Oh,
something, like,
yeah.
because you get you get ones like in Asda that like are frozen. It's like the only kind of ones you can get around
oh
here.
really?
They're good. Like you get like a wee packet of sugar and stuff with it. Sprinkle that on. Some cinnamon sugar, I believe it is. And they're good, but they're like really small. Whereas like whenever I was in Spain at like some like fucking street
Oh, man,
market,
they're huge.
and it was like that.
Yeah.
And it was like that thick. It was like a
And you bite it
big
and the
fucking
middle's
churro.
so soft and then
And it's made like a big
crunchy.
bucket
oh,
thing.
man. Ah,
Deep-
like the guy
so
with
deep fried,
he
like.
had like this like fucking like a cookie cutter press thing that he just like put it out into the frying pan like in a big
Aye.
circle and then he was like frying it and then he put it out and like chopped it all up.
Shit like that's really impressive to watch being cooked.
It was
as
just
well.
in like a van though.
Aye, but they
Do you
always
know what I
have, but
mean?
they're
Like-
always made with cool things. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
It's like
know.
always like, oh, what's
But what I
that
mean
thing?
is like this guy was really skilled at doing it. Like,
Aye.
but like it seemed like an actual skill, not just like I don't know.
I love me some churros, hey, right now.
Ah, they're so fucking good.
we talk about
I'm
food too
trying to-
long, I'm going to get hungry.
I'm trying to think of like all our desserts that I tried over there that were really good. Churros is like it's like one of those things I've heard about and I'd be like, what the fuck's a churro?
Yeah, that's good
And
though.
then I got it and I was
Yeah,
like, oh
churros.
yeah.
Yeah, of
like
course.
like good big market churros, aye.
Market churros.
Aye, they have to. No, that's mainly because if
Oh,
you get
man,
them,
you gotta get
the only way you can get them, the proper ones here is at like a food market or something.
Oh, I like the small.
I like them small
and
ones
fat
too.
Ones too. They're good.
That's the ones.
I've
They're fucking.
whatever
They're good.
ones like.
They're good, like.
They do like when they're done like really fresh. They kind of do taste a wee bit like Dunkin' Donuts.
Aye, they do.
I remember that,
They smell like it
but it's
as well.
because they're that like, what even are they just batter and like sugar or what? Like I don't.
I
like,
think you
what's
might be
in
right.
them?
No, not mango pancake.
Well,
What's in
yeah,
churros?
So
I'm thinking
everybody's
of all
just looking
things.
up some recipes here when we're trying to.
We're trying to get her to
figure
look up some churros.
What's in churros?
But
I think it might just be like batter
I
and
think
sugar.
it's just like
man.
pastry. It's just deep fried pastry
It's
or
just
something.
like batter that's deep
Aye.
fried and then coated in sugar and whatnot.
Man, why is it so damn good?
But there's like a breadiness to it.
This
as
here,
well.
this is the best dessert I've ever had. Ever.
Mango pancake.
Yeah,
yum
and I
cha.
don't know. No, it's just
Oh,
mango
right.
pancakes, but I don't know what it is. It's like pastry, but you know that kind of pastry. It's like doughy, but it's
Yeah, like,
cold and it like pulls apart almost.
Like the stuff in fucking dumplings.
Aye.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of
It's
like
like
custard,
boiled. It's
but
they,
like
they don't fry it. It's
I don't
boiled.
know what it is. Oh, okay. That
Boiled
makes sense.
pastry.
Like mango custardy.
Yeah, but inside it,
Fucking-
it's like
oh,
mango
wow.
puree and coconut cream, and that's the nicest thing I've ever eaten. Ever.
It looks very, very nice as well.
That's
So
it. The
good.
see, like I'm not a massive fan of dumplings because I don't like the texture.
Oh, no, I like
Oh,
that kind
good.
of dough.
That dough, like it feels like
Nah,
you
it's
know what?
good.
It feels like uncooked dough to me.
I know, but
like,
it's good if it's done right. Or
I
if you
think-
get it and it's not done right, it tastes like shit.
I think it'd be alright with those though because they're sweet. For some reason.
For a
I just feel
pancake,
like
it's fucking
when I'm
perfect.
eating like dumplings, like when I bite it.
You want them to be a bit firmer, I feel.
Nah, I think
Yeah, they do like they move when you bite them. I don't like that. So
they're like bready. They're not supposed to be like pure doughy. They're supposed to be
That's
like.
what I mean. I'm saying
I
that
know,
I,
I know they're
Bready.
meant to be like bready, but like
I
it's
think
still
you've been
like
undercooking your dumplings.
I haven't been
Yeah.
undercooking my dumplings.
I think you
soupy
might have been.
dumpling.
Last time I had dumplings,
Shouldn't
it was
be
a
too-
restaurant. So.
Too like squidgy.
Gooey,
Or
No, I
gooey.
didn't say they were like
Or like
squidgy,
gooey.
but, like,
Or is it just
not
soft?
Gooey, just really soft.
Shit. Scoot. Scooting over there. Shooting the shit.
Skeet skeet.
Scooting the shit. Scooting the shit. Scooping the shit.
You scooping shit up with your bare
Man,
hands.
are you scooping shit?
No, I was just searching for shit. I was searching
Oh.
through my shit earlier.
Were you? Hey man, I like that segue. That's good.
And I found something.
Very subtle.
Like, there's so many parts of this that could just be like cut out of context. Or like I'm just like so I was searching through my shit earlier, okay? Just
Yeah.
like pawing through it.
just pawing.
Pawing through my shit. And I found some very, very weird things.
Did you? I'm usually finding normal things. Just like
Really?
normal household objects.
Healthy.
But now I'm finding stranger household objects and it's getting a bit scary.
That's where I put them keys.
I fuck found them, hey. Shite. But are we actually doing some shit searching
I
right
think
now?
we
Is
should
this what
do
you're
some
trying to?
shit
I don't know if
searching,
you were hinting at it before,
I was hunting
but that's probably a good thing to do some shit searching.
Yep.
Just with all this shit talking.
That's where I was going with that.
Do some
So I
shit
was.
searching. What have we
But
got?
we've got one to ban first.
Are we banning that first?
Which I've-
Wait, no, not that one then. The Jordan Peterson one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
What? What happened?
Oh, we're not recording the screen yet.
Got it up yet.
Oh,
You
okay.
jumped the gun there.
Sorry, we jumped the
no,
gun.
it's all right. Like
But sure, look. Now it's up.
us jumping guns all the time. But I
Always jumping on them guns.
anyway, we're gonna ban something first.
Yeah, we're gonna jump on some books right now.
We're gonna jump on some books.
So, Jordan B. Peterson's bestseller has been pulled from New Zealand bookstore in response to the shooting that happened there, the
Yes.
massacre.
So we're banning this on the grounds of Jordan Peterson having nothing to do with
That.
any of it.
Aye.
So like, I did read a bit of this. I have a wild problem with actually sending articles in for this segment that I don't ever read, but I read about this, and so they pulled it on the grounds basically that he has like a following of like a slight following of like alt-right people, mixed following.
It's
Like
you know what?
different people from the alt-right community. But then they pulled, right, so the book they pulled was The 12 Rules for Life. What I didn't read was their actual, like compound reason for pulling it.
I'd be interested to see what that is. Because to me, so far, this looks like the same as blaming Ozzy Osbourne and for someone committing suicide and
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson for Columbine.
Exactly.
You know what I
This is
mean?
a Marilyn Manson Columbine situation, I believe.
That's what it seems like to me.
So, what coils as well, we were discussing this the last day, off air, and it's so the chain's called What Coils, right? And it seems to be the biggest bookstore in New Zealand because of the fact that it has like 56 locations or something.
That's
pretty
probably like
large in a small country.
all the places where his books are in New Zealand.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because it's probably just going to like a deal with a chain.
I highly doubt that New Zealand has much, like, fuck it. It's not like a really hard market for fucking bookstores.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they have like one.
Like
that
I'd say
rules the roost.
that's it, like that chain and
Yeah.
then some maybe small ones.
Yeah, exactly. Something like
But
a
like
family of one.
in terms of somebody who's going to stock Jordan Peterson's book, this is probably the only one.
Exactly.
Which means that he's like, but so this book's about school shootings, isn't it? And the psychology. of
No,
it.
this book is
No.
just like a self-help book for like his target audience of.
Aye, but it says
younger-
there. Oh, sorry, it has a chapter that covers the dark psychology of mass shooters. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
But
so?
that's still. It's
No, I mean that's
sick.
kind of ironic if they took that off the
Yeah.
shelf because
I
he's
didn't even
obviously
read that part.
condemning that.
Exactly, and he's like they're referring to it as dark psychology. It's not like that he's referring it to like as he's not enforcing it or encouraging it at all.
No,
They
of
don't-
He's
course
obviously
not.
talking about how like the bad parts.
Yeah, well,
of
that's like the people that he's aiming to help, like those
Exactly.
younger males who fall into that
Aye.
category.
And they're like
Disenfranchised.
aiming to help, not aiming to encourage
Yes.
people or whatever.
But
or
it was
inspire.
because of that photo of him with that person with the "I'm a proud Islamophobe" T-shirt.
So it was because of that.
Well, yeah, because
Oh, so that's their compound reason. Like that's the one they're saying they took it off the shelves for.
I believe
Ah,
so. Like,
right. I
there
get where
wouldn't
they're actually going with
be
their
any other
thing.
reason. Because that's why
Even-
his other one he lost his
Oh,
fellowship
shit.
at Cambridge for the
All
same
right,
reason.
I thought it was something like someone closer to the shooting.
Even so,
No, I don't. I
it
thought
shouldn't. Like, why are they taking like that book off the shelves? Like, there's fuck all up with that book.
And it's only one part, isn't it? It's a chapter, isn't it? So hold on, didn't take it off? It seems like they're like they're talking about the chapter where he talks about the psychology of shooters and mass shooters or whatever. Like, what are they actually? Did they take it off for that, or did they take it off for the Islamophobe thing? Does it say? Because
Oh, it says. Yeah, maybe it is because of that chapter that
Aye.
features in it, which
Like-
is stupid.
maybe it's more understandable the whole reason, but like that's like it's just one small part of a big book. Like that's ridiculous. You might as well
Aye.
like revoke every scientist's paper or every psychologist's papers about this kind of thing.
But
That's like
but
the
wait,
same thing.
though. Even gone. Can you click and read more there? Cause like, do you have to buy it? No, you can't. Shit. Okay. So like they're having problems with what he says in the book. Then
Just in that chapter.
but like.
That's not
like,
good
so
enough
other
fucking
articles are
reason.
saying it's because of this picture where he's I don't know who the guy's standing with, it's probably one of his fans. This guy's wearing a t-shirt that has some kind of like I'm a proud Islamophobe, and then he gives it's like this whole thing with all these reasons. I thought it was
Yeah,
like,
I can see how
I
they can
thought it was
tie him
like a-
for that, but they're
Yeah.
tying they're saying it's because of that chapter in the book where he's talking about the psychology of mass shooters in this article.
I don't understand it still. Like it's still kind of a mystery to me.
I still want to ban it because it's still
Oh,
like
I'm
to me it's still
banning it, like
it still
but, like,
seems like that thing where it's like a Marilyn Manson Columbine
yeah,
thing.
like this seems linked in no way, shape, or form.
It's like scapegoats
There's
and
loads of
stuff.
people that I mean, are they right? Okay, so are they gonna ban Bowling for Columbine by Michael Moore. Are they going to ban that from showing on TV in New Zealand?
Because that's bound to inspire shooters a lot more
that's
than this
about
fucking
a mass
book.
shooting, and it has footage of a mass shooting in it.
Aye.
Like,
I can
all-
picture someone who has the capacity to be a school shooter or ever watching that and being like something switching. Like
Yeah.
a wee switch flipping. But like reading, the chances of them reading a fucking Jordan Peterson book are pretty slim in New Zealand, I'd say. And then,
Which-
not anything against New Zealand, but just the fact that it's far away and nobody really knows who he is there.
Like
Like-
the company who owns the bookstore chain or whatever, like put out a statement saying we believe it would be wrong to support the author at this time.
Why?
Probably with
Exactly.
everything going on. Or with that
No, because
t-shirt.
after
or-
I'm not.
It's so
Prob-
unclear.
I would say that the T-shirt thing must come into play.
But they would have talked about it in this because there's a perfect picture to use in this article and everything, and they didn't use it.
But this article's in support of Jordan Peterson. It's like
Oh,
there's this
right,
clause
really?
saying like statement is ironic, blah blah blah, and like
Right.
picking out the good things in his book and
I
how
think
it
maybe,
contradicts.
Should have got
that.
one that was against it just to see what. Oh, I suppose you did, didn't you? You got the BBC one there. Go and see what the BBC one says then, because they're
This
saying
is
it's because of
his
it's because of
fellowship
the
in Cambridge. This isn't the
T-shirt.
Oh, is
the
this all
store
different?
thing.
Oh, so this is a different one again. Oh yeah, I remember this. Like I was saying to you about how I've like there's like a group of guys who've been on Joe Rogan that like have a following, and it's a weird following. Like it's
I like
just
the
this-
Ben Shapiro types.
Yeah, but not
Milo
see,
Yiannopoulos.
yeah, but like those guys are like a wee bit different. I think Jordan Peterson's like is in the world of his own. I think like Sam Harris as well. Like Sam Harris somehow gets lumped in with like
Did you get Gavin
alt-righters.
McInnes as well?
Yeah, no, Gavin McInnes is off on his own wee fucking
he has-
world, man. No, he's a
Does he
madman.
not? He kind of gets.
He's a nut job. He's a
Put under that as well,
He's
does
an
he not?
American Milo Yiannopoulos.
Like a professional provocateur.
Professional
but
provocateur.
Milo
He
falls
just
under that.
says
What we're talking about. Like,
things that just are ridiculous to get some kind of response. Do you know what I mean? But like, I don't think that's what Jordan Peterson's doing. Like,
nah.
but
He's being a psychologist.
That's what I
and-
mean. Like he does like like the same crowds come to see him. That's the
Aye.
problem.
The thing is that there's loads of older people that are doing the same kind of work as him. It's just they're not in the spotlight and they're not being like on like their debates aren't being watched by millions of people and stuff. Like he's just one that's in the spotlight and seems to be everybody's scapegoat, or he's like a magnet for all that hate towards those people or whatever. But there's loads of other people that are doing the exact same fucking work as him.
Oh, I see. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there are lots of
Like,
psychologists.
see as well, I'm pretty sure that 12 Rules for Life book is like the softest book he ever wrote. I'm pretty sure it's like, no, it is literally just like a psychology book. There's no kind of like narrative to it at all. It's just like sort everything out, and like here's different situations on where people didn't sort things out, and that's why he's probably got a chapter in there.
Do you think he throws stuff in there every now and then to get a response to keep himself like in the spotlight or whatever?
Aye, but like that's what people do. I think. Like, I mean,
Like I think, and like if what you're doing is putting out books in 2019, then you need to be kind of doing something that's going to spark something.
aye, right. But Milo Yiannopoulos says things.
Yeah, but he says
because
things on Twitter.
He just says things like
Not
that
anymore.
are just mean sometimes to just start a whole thing like a tirade,
Aye.
and then he'll start changing his point to become
It's
more
like them like Russian
centered
trolls.
thing.
He just kind of
Aye.
like creeps on, like
Sees,
does that, and then
his wee point, and
Aye.
then like everybody goes wah, and then,
And
he,
he just
then
backs
he
out.
backs out again and like lets it go.
Aye.
Right? But like Jordan Peterson doesn't do that. I can't remember where I was going with that point. What were we talking about?
about him
again?
provoking people to like kind of keep
Oh yeah,
himself
well
up there.
he provokes people, but like it's so hard to kind of get where I'm going.
Yeah, but what I mean is, I bet
You
like
have
there's
to
ways that he
provoke
could.
kind of like that to get a debate going. Like, do you know what I mean? But like those guys just seem to provoke for provoking's sake. Like
It seems that he's
like-
provoked as well by all the people he's debating.
Yeah, and
Yeah, he's
say
definitely
like
provoked
just
people.
bringing up that point, like Cambridge didn't tell him that they were rescinding his fellowship and announced it over Twitter without him even knowing. So he found out via Twitter.
That's another real fight that's going on these days.
Yeah, it's
people
like-
get
I didn't
fired and they
know.
don't even know, and then it's announced over like news organizations, and then that's how they find
Like
out.
that seems more provocative than anything he said or did.
That's
I don't
fuck.
know.
That's true. That's so shit.
Bag move, like.
I'd like to ban that as well. Put that on the ban as well.
Yeah, that
Doing
seems
that.
like they're trying to be in the spotlight
Aye.
as opposed to anything you were saying there now.
Aye, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Do you know what? There's a real
I didn't even know.
trend
I didn't
with
know
like
places did that.
TV stations, social media companies, like universities and schools and stuff, where like they're bandwagoning real hard now on the thing where like they saw what Culls, whatever, removed his book. They're like, oh, we see something happening here. We'll get in early now. Remove his fellowship, right? Like, and then we'll be one of the first to be part of this. Like, we'll get the props.
And then when they're asked about it, be like, yeah, we found out about it, and straight
Yeah.
away
We
we
terminated his,
revoked this thing or whatever.
thing,
Yeah. Oh, bastards! Hey, play
I
the
mean, it's
sharks,
just your
man.
points, man.
Everybody's it's fucking who. Everybody's trying to score brownie points, and everyone's trying to do it before they are. It's like a big competition. That's all that matters to a lot of people.
He's probably gonna be Alex Jones. I feel he's gonna start getting his shit took down. YouTube will start taking his shit down. Twitter will probably start taking his shit down. And then like the only person who'll put him on is like Joe Rogan for 4.5 hours.
That's ridiculous though. Like he may have some views that are a bit like that are controversial and whatever. He may say the wrong thing sometimes, but nothing he's saying is remotely bad.
No.
Oh no, nothing he's ever said was like
Like Alex Jones is ridiculous.
Aye.
Like, and some of the things he says can actually be offensive and harmful.
Aye, but Jordan Peterson's just saying shit that's true, really, or like that he believes
It's
based on
rational
what he
and
knows.
logical anyway.
Aye, like stuff that he's thought about and put together, and not stuff that he's just like ranting. He's never like ranting. It's all stuff that he's obviously thought about, and he's like, "Oh, I believe this because I know this and I know this, and I've put that together,
I'd
and
like
I
to
have
put a
this."
point in about Alex Jones as well. Anybody that ever listens to him is an idiot and should be taken as so. Like, I like to watch videos. I don't watch channel or anything. I like to watch like videos of him going crazy and
clips and
stuff
shit.
because like it's fun
I'm
to
a pioneer.
watch. Do you know what I mean? It's fun to watch and.
It's like
I
it's more of
understand-
a sense of fucking comedy.
Aye,
A
I know
source
why
of
he
comedy.
was taken down. There was a lot of stuff about like Sandy Hook and all that. I think that was one of the main things that got him taken down. But he's got like these fucking nutjob followers.
And loads of them,
And
man.
loads,
So
millions
many.
of them. Like they're like the quiet majority. But and they do the he didn't like I don't know the full extent of it. I don't think he ordered them to go out and start harassing the victims' families. I think they did that on their own accord.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I probably.
They obviously
Like the
did,
people that
like-
listen and shit probably be at that kind of shit on the side.
Of course.
Anyway, like as soon as they start
Aye.
riling up,
Like you've
when
seen with
something
conspiracy
kicks
people,
off.
like people go out looking for Bigfoot and
Oh,
all
fuck,
accord.
and
Like
aye.
they didn't go because Alex Jones told them.
People become obsessed with
He
shit, like
just
looking for
started
aliens and
the
all.
rumor.
People are obsessed with us now
He
in the same
floated
way.
that thing, and then because of people being so crazy right now about fake news and all, I think it's all perpetuating itself.
Man, I think
You know
it's
what I mean?
like a really unhealthy focus for both sides. It's
Aye.
like it must be fucking draining if that's your thing, man, all day. Just looking for shit on the other side.
I know why.
It's like a game of
Looking
tennis
for
or something.
conspiracy
Man,
theories.
it's so fucked. Like all that shit. It's such a bad way to spend your time.
It really is. It's like toxic.
It really, really
Makes
is.
you look how old Alex Jones look. He's like 43 or something.
Aye, and he looks
looks
about
60.
60.
Aye.
He's in bad shape. Fucking blood pressure through the
There's
roof.
one thing though I keep hearing, and it's really making me like weirded me out the other day for the first time though, and it was somebody saying like it was somebody like I think it might have been like Joe Rogan or Brian Callen or somebody like I respect as like a broadcaster saying like we don't really know if that's true, that could be fake news. Like that's become part of
The lingo.
yeah, it's become part of the fucking thing. Like I'm trying to think of the word. Like it's in society
Aye,
now.
like
it's not just like a thing that Trump says to
No, like people
disprove stories that are
are-
probably true about him. Do you know what I mean? It's
People
like,
have become
people
like
don't trust anything.
aye,
anymore.
people are starting to question shit.
like
Like people who before it would have went straight over their heads and just wouldn't have
now
said anything.
people are watching this and we're just talking bullshit and
Aye.
like
Just talking shit.
nobody's taking this as real shit and we're talking about real issues and stuff and real things that are going on in the world. But nobody's going to come and go, you guys are trying to spread rhetoric and you guys are fake news, because we don't have a big enough audience. Why would you bother spreading rhetoric to like 5 people, right?
We're just fucking chatting.
Like, nobody's going to accuse us of spreading fake news. But if we gain 10 million more followers,
then maybe.
Fake news. Straight away, we're fake news because we have a large audience. We must be fake news. Like, everything and anything is fake news now.
If you want it to be.
Like, exactly. It's only if you want it to be.
So banning Jordan Peterson being banned.
100%.
And moving on.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah. Banning fake news.
Let's have some more fake news, please.
And then some real news now. Drugged orangutan found in Russians' airline luggage. A Russian passenger flying from Bali. I believe I found this one whenever I was actually shed searching, I believe. Searching through the shit.
Nikolai.
And I found...
Give me the diazepams.
I found Nico. He was so hungry for the pills. So a Russian tourist attempting to smuggle a drugged orangutan out of Indonesia in his suitcase to bring home and keep as a pet has been arrested in Bali, police said on Saturday.
Okay.
So reading through, right, there's some questionable things, right? So the officers stopped him and opened his luggage to find a 2-year-old male orangutan sleeping inside a rattan basket, right? We believe the orangutan was fed allergy pills, which caused him to sleep. We found the pills inside the suitcase. Okay? And then Zestov seemed prepared like he was transporting a baby. He added, the 27-year-old also packed baby formula and blankets for the orangutan. I think this boy might have been a bit whacked out too.
And probably
his trip to Indonesia.
Baby
I think he
formula.
came across some DMT or something, and he's still on it.
Police also found 2 live geckos and 5 lizards inside his suitcase. So he just wants to start a wee zoo in his house back in Russia.
Right. I see. This is the bit then that the kind of got me. Zestov told authorities that the protected species was gifted by his friend, another Russian tourist who bought the primate for $3,000 from a street market in Java. And I think that the friend, he convinced him that he could bring the orangutan back as a pet. You're like, okay, Nico, I believe you, man. You've always been very cool to me, Nico.
Okay, man, you know what? You can bring orangutans, but you just need to hide orangutans.
I don't think
you
you'll
need to drug it with the little sleeping pills and then put it in baskets.
Just give little hungry monkey the little pills. Put him in bag and take him home.
Just crush some pills up, sprinkle on bananas and feed the monkeys.
Sprinkle on bananas.
Sprinkle on bananas.
Sprinkle.
Peel some bananas.
You have to have a sh at the start of it. A sprinkle.
Right.
But moving on to orangutans.
I want to get at something here, right? Now, like, rich people often have, or rich/crazy people with a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, you need this amount of money to have an exotic pet, but if you need to have, like, a certain amount so that you can have cages.
But it was a gift. This guy doesn't need to have any money. This guy just needs to
I'm getting at something here. Okay,
suitcase?
So this guy, if he had money to have an exotic pet, if he had, like, a lot of money and he was a rich, eccentric person, he would have probably, like, got this monkey out because he would have just gotten his private plane and flew it to Russia home, and he would have had his monkey in the house. This guy here seems like a guy who's living in, like, those Soviet-era flats.
Oh, grey blocks.
Just, like, grey blocks.
With small windows.
And I feel like he's in, like, floor 38. And he's going to live in there in a 1-bedroom flat
stairs.
with his orangutan and 5 lizards and fucking 3 geckos.
2
geckos. I mean?
geckos.
His orangutan's not going to be fucking flying about a back garden with loads of peacocks and stuff. It's going to be like in fucking... And I'm trying to think of a terrible Russian town.
I don't know. St. Petersburg, like for what it's meant to be a cool place, but it looks pretty fucking scary. That episode of Parts Unknown where they're like on the train outside it, and it's just like grey nothingness, and then a block of a fucking city and nothing around it.
I know why.
Grey snow.
Russian architecture's scary.
It's
Russian
fucking
people in
terrifying.
general, scary.
I also like how it's specified that they found 2 live geckos, but I'd like them to specify that the lizards are live as well, because I think it could be 2 live geckos and
5 dead lizards.
5 lizards to me sounds like 5 dead lizards in there as well. Very big effect on the little lizards.
I only bring lizards so monkey could eat.
No. Dead before plane.
Dead before plane.
Death
Like
before flight.
I strangle in house.
I already smack on wall. But fucking moving on from that.
Excuse
probably.
me, sir. How did you knock out that monkey? I just smack on wall until he falls asleep. He
Enjoy
take
slumber.
3, 4, maybe 5 smacks. I mean, after 2, he looking drowsy, but he not good. He not good after 5.
Not coming back after 3.
No,
definitely
no,
going
he's
down
out
after
for
4.
days after 5.
Close to death, but safe for flight. Flight ready. Right. So we've got more shit searching that isn't just us doing Russian accents again. But
So our next topic and shit searching
what have we
is
got?
Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's daughter Isabella claims she was drowning in problems before extensive Scientology training now, helped her find the missing piece in her life.
Yeah, what's this extensive Scientology course? Because I've heard just Scientology itself's pretty hands-on.
Pretty
hands-on.
Pretty hands-on.
But
alright. Hey.
extensive Scientology, now that sounds deep. That sounds like they're really
That's
taking
why
you
I
through
asked
it.
you earlier if you'd watched The Master, because although it's not directly saying that it's about Scientology, they show you like what that training is, and it's sort of like a lie detector test where you you think about things and you talk about things until you view them positively.
Until you convince yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
It shows you in the Louis Theroux My Scientology movie documentary. Scientology would sue them up the wazoo if they made a direct Scientology documentary. So what they're making is what they say is a fictional recreation of what Scientology do. So he's actually shooting a movie, and then he's paying a crew to shoot the making of that movie. Right? So he's jumping through loops to make a documentary about Scientology. And so it basically goes. He has Marty Rathbone there as well, Rathburn or whatever you call him. He was like the second-hand man to David Miscavige.
Right.
He basically told them the crack about what they do and all. There's some pretty fucking gnarly practices. Like
they'll be up to
locking
some-
them in a room and like really abusing them and shouting at them. And
They completely like isn't that a thing where like everyone stands around you and you just get insulted by
yeah,
everybody?
you get like
Yeah.
paraded by everybody.
Like really personal shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's like all prepped with
I
stuff to
think
say.
they're, like, I think
They
they're,
completely
like,
strip you down, man, and like hold you their way.
like
That's what they do.
It's brainwashing, but like in a
But
like,
it's
a
not at the same
military
time. It's
and religious way.
It's weird though because it's something that you come up with yourself. It's almost like you're undergoing therapy. Like it's not like it's not like they're
I
just
don't know,
feeding.
man.
Like it's not like it's done with machines and shit. They're just telling you shit until you
Yeah, but
believe it.
I think they prey
And
on
they're
vulnerable
they're
people
telling
as
you
well.
different things about it that'll make you kind of change your view on it.
Yeah, I know what you
know
mean.
what I mean? It's so like they're not doing it directly. They're giving you the opportunity to accept it, and then you have to do it yourself to believe it. You know what I mean? So it's weird, dark shit that you can't really call it brainwashing because it's not really. It's like kind of just giving people information and they're choosing to believe it or not.
Oh no, but see the abuse and the locking them in the room and
Aye,
shouting
but
at them
that's
and
what I mean,
stuff,
that all feeds
that's-
into it.
That's brainwashing because that's basically what they do to like special forces soldiers and stuff. They kind of strip them down of any kind of like fear they
Aye.
have about killing and stuff.
Is it
I
really
think they're-
brainwashing though when they're willingly doing it, like they want to do it?
But they're
It's not.
they're
But
just
they're under like they're under false pretenses for a start because it's all
it's
bullshit.
sort of like the same. Like those people are just like getting brainwashed because they want to be like sort of like
It's like any religion.
like getting like addicted to heroin. Like they're just it's just a crutch for some other thing that's going on with them. Do you know what I mean?
That
But,
seems to be like common with with new
Yeah.
churches.
Like you
The new
never
kind of
ever
religions.
ever see somebody join Scientology who's well rounded, doesn't seem to be anything wrong with them. They have a nice job, nice family, 2 kids, and they're fine. Nobody ever needs to join Scientology. It's always when they're on their fucking last leg. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I was addicted to drugs until I joined Scientology. Well, it's very obviously you just replaced the drugs with it. You know what I mean? No, that's
Aye.
not healthy. Like
It's like, oh, Scientology cured my drug addiction. I replaced it, lad.
replaced it with Scientology, lad.
Not so good.
Okay, no.
No, not so fucking hot.
But so Tom Cruise's daughter has joined, and she's going to be getting some very good treatment. I feel in the old Church of Scientology.
Yeah, because
Tom Cruise is the king.
Daddy's pretty high up the chain.
Daddy's very high up the chain, and but her ma is Nicole Kidman, who didn't as I said, I didn't ever really
I fully.
get into it. I really don't think.
I don't think she ever fully committed to it.
You know what I mean? I think she just kind of sat around the edges and was like, "Oh, Tom, I like your medals, Tom. Do you want to maybe go outside and see some sun?"
Maybe
He's
even
just
do
sitting
it.
there polishing his big massive plate. his big huge plate.
That's just ridiculous,
Oh,
hey, man.
man.
That just,
what was
it's
that medal
just,
for? Just excellence
just
and
for like
things.
excellence at being excellent or
Yeah,
something.
pretty much, yeah. And man, when
2
he,
thumbs up.
like when he like gave the salute to David Miscavige, but David Miscavige is like a good 2 inches shorter than him, and we were like,
Aye.
"Oh my god!"
Aye.
Like he's so much smaller than Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is like 5'3".
How does it work with like who leads it? Like, how did Dave Miscavige come onto being appointed, and then who will follow
I think
him?
King of all universes, LRH.
He elected him.
L. Ron Hubbard, for anybody that doesn't know the old
Yeah, that
fucking
old sleaze.
Scientology lingo. LRH, I think he
He's the founder.
took Dave Miscavige under his wing
All right.
and probably buggered him into
Buggered him to the point of no return.
into listening to every word he said. Apparently, he's like just super crazy as well. Like he's just like a reincarnated L. Ron Hubbard because he like shaped him in his image.
Oh, look at
Just
him.
fucked.
Look at him.
Look at him. Right, his smile doesn't scream crazy person.
That's more everything else.
Yeah.
The hair and the face. It's kind of that like Rob Lowe kind of vibe.
He's kind of got that like morning TV vibe.
Aye.
But
I
like,
mean, like Rob
morning
Lowe in Parks
TV
and Rec.
or cult leader.
Aye. Yeah. Those are the 2 points on the spectrum.
Yeah, see, you've got him in a suit there. You've got to get him in the
Get him
fucking
in-
captain's outfit, man.
Yeah.
You got to get him in the fucking...
Hey.
The fucking
And if you get him in jeans and jeans and
Mariners
a
outfit.
t-shirt, I'll eat my hat.
you won't get him in jeans and a t-shirt.
You'll not
There's
find that man
the,
in
the,
jeans
the
and a
only
t-shirt.
pictures they've released of him are Scientology pictures. Like they've been
Yeah.
taken by Scientology. Like so, they're not going to release any pictures like that.
What a weird life. Hey, he was brought up in it as well, though, wasn't he?
He doesn't have a life.
He was raised in it.
Yeah. He was
But his
brought up
dad
by
has
his
a
father.
life.
His father was on Joe Rogan.
Dad escaped. For
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know. should
But his dad
listen.
escaped him.
Yeah, I know.
He was, like,
his
doing
dad
the same
escaped
stuff to
when
his
his
dad.
son, Dave Miscavige, was head of the church.
Yeah, but like he was like fucking like
He's above him.
sicking the dogs on him as well.
Aye,
though.
aye.
He was making his life hell.
Oh, for
Just-
sure. Aye, like, but he had to physically escape from like a compound.
I think
That's what this
I think
religion
his dad
does.
was a wee bit off too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't. Although I listened to that podcast, I wasn't sure how much I believed what he was saying about his
No,
escape
I mean
and
like
all.
I don't not believe what he's saying.
I believe it because
but
there are those
he's-
compounds
Seems too
exist.
far-
Scientology.
But those places like 100% exist.
Oh no, like
Where there's guards.
have you seen Going
And, like-
Clear?
No.
Oh, you need to watch that before you say that these places don't exist.
No, I know
They
that
do,
they
aye.
exist, but I mean
Not that-
him
not
like
that they don't
fleeing
exist, but,
for,
like,
for
that
his life
level.
and like the whole thing with his birthday presents. It was all items to like help him plan escape or something. It just sounds.
But it could if he knows obviously a lot of shit if he's like that close.
But he said that he didn't because he was just like kept in his studio making music and he
Yeah,
didn't
but
really
he knows,
get to.
he knows the general practice of what goes on. Like
he knows what
Doesn't
goes on.
everybody? Is that
Guards
not just like
everywhere and-
common knowledge?
No, but like the people
Not
know the
really.
compounds are there, but it's like there's a kind of a big question mark
Nobody's
on what
ever
goes on
filmed
there.
inside there except for Scientology.
Aye, like the only
Think
stuff that's
about
that's known from there is
Like-
the stuff that they've put out.
And in the
Yeah,
Scientology
but what
documentary,
really could they be doing that's so detrimental?
I don't know. They're crazy and believe in fucking like an alien god. So
But,
I'd say
like-
they could be up to anything.
I reckon they're
stuff
just
that
like
they do,
teaching
man.
and whatever.
Aye, but they're fucking
Trying to-
brainwashing in a way.
I know, but that's nothing really too much.
Yeah, but right.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
right enough, right.
Here's
What-
the
the people
thing,
who
though.
join, where would they end up in other walks of life? Like if they didn't go to Scientology, would they also just find their demise in something else? Do you think, or do you think those people could
No,
be?
you're saying like that they're just like brainwashing a bunch of idiots. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Waco. That's what could possibly go wrong. They started a fucking shootout with the police, and then they burned the place to the ground, and loads of Waynes and all died.
Yeah, Dave
Like,
Miscavige
that's what
seems
can
like
happen
a...
when you brainwash a pile of people into thinking that they're the chosen ones, and
Aye.
everybody's coming to get them.
Dave Miscavige also strikes me as a master plan type guy who has an end game.
Exactly. He got an end game.
He's such an
Are they all
end-game
going to
guy.
drink the Kool-Aid, or are they all going to have to fight their way out?
I think they're too
Aye.
high
Do you know what I
profile
mean?
to do anything like that. I
But
think
see,
it's more
all
like
you've
of a
got to do
status
is
thing.
take that
But I think
status away
if Dave
from them of the church.
Miscavige knew he was going to
That's
die...
not going to happen though.
Like the guys in Waco, I don't think had like church status. They had cult status. All you need to do is change those guys from a church to a cult, and they could like go, "Hey, followers, revolt against
whenever
the
it came
government."
about, they could
Too
have
well
very easily...
established for that to happen now though.
But think about if they had to put a different label on it back then.
They may be too well
Probably would have petered out
established.
before it got to this.
Exactly,
point,
because they would have knew
obviously.
what it was, but they called it a church, which at that time, that word was very strong with a lot of people.
Or like,
It
well,
meant
even
something
imagine
like-
this: even if the church doesn't go and order all their followers to do that, there are obviously going to be some followers that will be a bit more hardcore about it, and because I'd imagine the guys at the top don't believe it really. I don't think Dave Miscavige actually believes it. I think he's just doing the gambit for the monies and.
But
the
if he was
power and
kind of
stuff.
like...
maybe he
was
does
he like
believe it.
born into it?
He was, but I think he might have just realized.
Jinky, I
after
feel
a
like because
while.
if you're that high up, you know that it's bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You just
You're
have
running the
to.
fucking
You're
thing,
like
man.
you're
You
the
know
person
you're
who's
just-
making all the shit up. You're going like, oh, this is.
He has to make the
nonsense."
shit up. That's
Aye.
the thing. Like he has to make it up now.
You have to make up the ridiculousness.
Yeah,
It's your
so-
turn.
So exactly. So he must know. But there's definitely people who are at a level where they're so into it
Yeah.
and they don't know it's bullshit.
Aye, because they're
Right.
like kind of like muddled here, maybe
Those
where
are
you
the
don't
people
know.
who, even if Dave Miscavige doesn't tell them to pick up arms, will pick up arms.
Aye, exactly.
You see this with any religion. If any religion's threatened,
I
the leader
blindly
of the
follow
religion
it.
might not go attack, but there's
Aye.
people that will end up just doing it anyway.
And
I
people will
suspect you see
defend.
it. Like they claim
Aye.
that they're fighting for their faith, but they're obviously not.
Aye, they're defending their faith.
They're obviously not. They just want to impose their fucking shite on everybody else,
Yeah.
right? But that's what I mean. Like brainwashing and like indoctrinating anybody into anything can never be good because like once you've got that,
You have
you
the
can kinda
capacity
just,
to
like,
do lots.
because like Waco is a really good example. It's like all those people were in there and they thought like they were told by him that like they were the chosen ones and that they were going to get to heaven, but before they got to heaven, they were going to have to fight off the armies of the devil or whatever. And when the cops then came to get the children and all the people out of there, fucking your guy, what do you call him? I forgot, David Koresh, he told them then that these are the armies I was talking about. You have to fight them now because they're coming to get us. So before the cops even got onto the place, they started shooting at them. And then they just fucking went off. And then it was like a 3 or 4 month standoff. And then they ended up burning the place down. And everybody fucking died. Like, see, as well, they were so brainwashed. Apparently David Koresh died like 3 or 4 days before the final standoff. So he was dead before they burned the place down and everybody died inside. But the guys in there wouldn't let everybody out. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck.
That's how indoctrinated they were. After even their leader died, he got shot and just fucking died like a fucking man. He wasn't God. He said that he was the new Jesus, like. Do you know what I mean? So like that's the kind of stuff that can happen. And then from that, they say that Timothy McVeigh, the Ohio bomber, or the Oklahoma bomber, he got radicalized from that apparently. It made him think that the government were coming to get everybody. See how that shit can fucking spiral, like? He
It
then
does.
bombed the FBI offices in Oklahoma and killed like 500 people or something.
That's fucked.
So like that shit can go fucking nuts, like pretty quick. Speaking of nut shit,
Yeah, we're gonna get to that part of the
we're
podcast.
gonna end. We always like to end, but we're trying to end now every week on something funny or stupid or silly that we saw on
Yeah.
any one of the.
And if you've seen something that's
Outlets.
stupid and funny, and you think we might find stupid and funny, you could maybe
Always
even send it or
to
tag
one
us
of
on it or
us.
something.
Or send it to the Blasting Couch, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Yeah, one of those.
So
But we want
No.
to got.
what we can do is watch this video. So I saw this video through the week, and I think it's a pretty old video. But I'd seen it before, and then I watched it again, and I forgot how fucking ridiculous it is. But I think I just want to let the video speak for itself.
Shall we?
Yeah.
So the tagline is "Don't do drugs, kids." All right.
I'll not look until it's on full screen.
Just you go in there. There we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Volume up.
Ready? So don't do drugs, kids. Gosh, really.
Yeah, really.
Loading
slow.
symbols make everything anticlimactic.
Click.
Here it is.
Yeah, brand new. How are you?
This guy's so
Here
whacked
I
out
am.
too.
Ha ha.
He's so whacked.
Fucking you.
Look where he is.
Dewey Sanders, the mad bastard.
He's got like every Garda in Dublin after him. And he's like up there throwing tiles at cops apparently. That's what I read in the thing. Like they all turned up and he just started throwing tiles at them, butt naked.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Look at you! What's good this going on around? I like you! You fucking silence! You fucking silence!
I think he moves about too much from the black bar on his penis. Oh, there's a wee nice dog feed end on too. Look at that.
Oh, that was good. Hey. I'm glad I didn't watch that before we started.
I know.
Got to go on blind.
I love
That was
when
great.
things like that happen.
Oh, it's good. Fucking you.
Fucking you!
Fucking you, man. Them boys are funny, hey. Kinda glad those boys exist,
sit
hey.
and eat 10 E-tabs in their own house
I
at
just can't
12 o'clock in the day.
Can't get that big grin off their face.
That looked early in the day. That like the,
Aye.
like the sun.
1 p.m.
Like 1 p.m. today at least.
The sun was directly
He's on his
overhead.
chimney naked throwing tiles at cops. Oh man.
He's been going a few nights, I think.
Hey, keep her
Couple
lot,
weeks.
lad.
Hey,
Keep her
hey,
lot
they all boys, keep her that tight.
Tell the
Keep her
lads.
All the boys,
Keep her that
the trippers. Hey, keep her that.
I think we'll end on that then.
Aye, get us on all those places, the socials, the Blasting Couch and the Blasting Couch podcast, wherever.
On all of them. Just
All of them.
everything. Just and SoundCloud. Remember SoundCloud and YouTube too.
SoundCloud, check out
You
those
know.
playlists with those hot new clips.
Hot new
and
clips. Hot clips.
Hot clips and
Hot
hot new
clips.
episodes every single Monday.
Yes. So,
Cool.
the Blasting Couch.
As finished.